Do you guys remember the days in the NBA where late draft picks were almost a guarantee to not do well? You had the few rare occasions, like Manu Ginobili on the Spurs, who was taken 57th overall in 1999 and won 4 championships and earned a spot in the Hall of Fame. Tony Parker is another great example, as he was taken 28th overall in the 2001 draft and also won 4 championships, plus a Finals MVP in 2007. But over the past decade and a half, we have seen more and more talented players slip late into the draft, including some NBA champions and all-time greats. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the biggest steals in the NBA draft since 2010. Cue the intro. Just one disclaimer that I will only be mentioning players drafted after the lottery, so no players on this list were drafted between 1 to 14, only 15 and after. So without further ado, let's hop right into this list, starting with one of the most dominant big men in NBA history, Nikola Jokic. If you know anything about Jokic, you probably know that he isn't one of the most enthusiastic basketball players out there. And this was first seen on draft night, as not only was he taken 41st overall by the Denver Nuggets in 2014, but he was also drafted during a Taco Bell commercial, and was also deep asleep while he was taken. Nobody really made much of this pick at the time, and Jokic wasn't even their top big man prospect as well, as the Nuggets also had Jusuf Nurkic at center. However though, halfway through the 2016-17 season, the Nuggets decided to trade Nurkic and promote Jokic to their starting big man, and this may have been one of the best choices by a franchise in NBA history, as Jokic went on to win 3 MVPs, a championship in 2023 plus the Finals MVP, multiple All-Stars and All-NBA nods which he will inevitably keep adding onto, and is widely considered the best player currently in the NBA, while there can be valid arguments for other players too, but not too bad for a player taken 41st overall and prefers horses over basketball. Rudy Gobert, the 4-time and reigning Defensive Player of the Year. Like most players on this list, Gobert wasn't that well known when he was drafted by the Nuggets 27th overall in 2013. He never played for Denver and got traded to the Jazz before he made his NBA debut, and it only took a couple seasons for the NBA to pick up on his all-time defensive rim protection. He finished 5th in Defensive Player of the Year in just his second season and won his first of 4 in 2018. Rudy won 2 more with the Jazz in 2019 and 2021 and was a huge part of the Jazz being a top team in the West during his time there. Rudy got traded to Minnesota, where he did have a rough first season there, but picked up right where he left off after that one season, winning his 4th Defensive Player of the Year in 2024, and solidifying himself as one of the best defensive players in NBA history. Even though he's not the most talented offensive player, and we do see him get targeted a lot, especially in the playoffs by shooters, there's a reason he's made 8 straight playoff appearances, plus helping the Jazz get the best record in the NBA in 2021. He's got one of the longest wingspans in the league, and his elite rim protection isn't going away anytime soon. Draymond Green, one of the most controversial players of this generation. You'd love to play with him, but despise going up against him. Draymond was taken 35th overall by the Warriors in 2012, and what a steal for the Warriors this was. Draymond really started to show his talent in the first round playoff series against the Clippers in 2014, as he upped his averages from 6 points and 5 boards per game in the regular season to 12 points and 8 boards per game in the playoffs. But after that series was when Draymond became known as not only one of the best defenders in the league, but team players as well. Draymond was the perfect player to play along with Steph and Klay in their elite shooting, as he helped the Warriors win their first championship in 40 years in 2015, and his defense helped the Warriors win 3 more in 2017, 2018, and 2022, along with the help of Kevin Durant obviously in 17 and 18. But Draymond was one of the biggest steals in the draft in NBA history, and he even remembers all the players who were drafted ahead of him. Pascal Siakam, one of the more underrated players in the league, Pascal Siakam had quite a fortunate start to his NBA career. Being drafted 27th overall in 2016 by the Toronto Raptors, Siakam had little to no expectations his early years, as the Raptors were already a top team in the East with Lowry and DeRozan running the team. But fast forward just 2 seasons into 2019, and Siakam is now the winner of the Most Improved Player award and played a huge role in the Raptors winning their first championship in franchise history. Siakam upped his averages from 7 points and 4 boards per game to 17 points and 7 boards per game. Siakam later picked up 2 All-Star appearances along with 2 All-NBA teams as well. Siakam is still an all-star caliber player on the Indiana Pacers, as we saw in the playoffs this year, and don't be surprised if we see him make any more all-star appearances in the future. Khris Middleton. Another player who was tearing it in the playoffs this year. Khris Middleton may not be the same player now as he used to be a couple years ago, but he's still one of the toughest shot makers in this era, and was a huge part in the Bucks winning the championship in 2021. Khris was taken 39th overall by the Detroit Pistons in 2012, and like almost all second round picks, not much was expected out of Middleton. He played one season in Detroit until he got traded to the team where he still is to this day, the Milwaukee Bucks. Middleton just finished his 11th season in Milwaukee, and his career averages with the Bucks are not bad by any means. 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game, along with 3 All-Star appearances. And that one championship in 2021, which he could not have played any better, averaging 24 points, 6 boards, and 5 assists for the series, plus dropping a 40-piece in a crucial Game 4 win. Kawhi Leonard. I'm sure I don't need to go into too much depth about how great of an NBA player Kawhi Leonard is, as not only is he one of the greatest players of this generation, but of all time. And he was not even a lottery pick. Kawhi was fortunate he ended up landing with the most successful organization at the time, the San Antonio Spurs. Kawhi was drafted 15th overall by the Pacers in 2011, but got traded to the Spurs before he made his debut. Kawhi was seen as a defensive specialist his early days in the NBA, but he developed his game early and fast, as we saw in just his 3rd season in the 2014 NBA Finals, where he locked up LeBron James as a 22-year-old and became the youngest player since Magic Johnson to win Finals MVP as the Spurs destroyed the Heat in just 5 games. He later went on to win 2 Defensive Player of the Years back-to-back after that in 2015 and 2016, and won another championship, this time with the Toronto Raptors in 2019, plus winning the Finals MVP. Kawhi will be 33 next season, and even though he's had a ton of injuries, when he's healthy, he's still one of the best players in the NBA. Jimmy Butler. One of the league's most beloved players, Jimmy Butler the past couple seasons has been seen as an icon in Miami, as he helped them make 2 finals runs when not a single person on this globe expected him to. When Jimmy first entered the NBA in 2011, he did not have it easy. Jimmy was taken with the last pick of the first round in the 2011 NBA draft, selected 30th overall by the Chicago Bulls. And like almost all late draft picks, he got little to no playing time his rookie year, putting up just 2 points per game in 8 minutes. But with Derrick Rose getting hurt and barely playing the following seasons, this gave Jimmy an opportunity for more minutes, and he took advantage of it. Jimmy was always an excellent defender, but his scoring kept on getting better and better until he won Most Improved Player in 2015, along with his first All-Star appearance, putting up 20 points per game. Jimmy later got traded to Minnesota, then Philly, then signed with the Heat in free agency in 2019. And this was when Jimmy turned into a superstar, carrying the Miami Heat to 2 NBA Finals runs in 2020 and 2023, as well as having the best record in the East in 2022. Not bad for a player taken last in the first round of the draft. Thank you guys if you made it to the end of this video. I know there's a lot of players who could have made this list, so if I forgot anyone you're thinking of, drop them in the comment section below. But if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more content just like this one, drop a like and subscribe to the channel for new videos every week. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next one.